Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We are back, recording live from the mothership. True Tekken Lemon. It's not True Tekken Lemon. I'm just so used to getting on and saying True Tekken Lemon. This is Sobieska Karate School. We are back. This is class 7, I believe. And today we're gonna go over horse free. This is what I believe personally to be Lydia's best move in this game, right? And I'm just gonna go over why this move is so good in my eyes and why I feel like people should do whatever they can to just use this move more, because it really comes with little risk and I just feel like it has so much good utility, right? So Sobieska Karate School, this is where we come in and I just teach you little bits of knowledge that I have that I think could be useful on the character. If you know where you are, go ahead and hit the like button. If you don't know where you are, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and then hit the like button. And let's go ahead, class is in session, and let's go ahead and jump straight in, right? So horse free, for those who are uninitiated, very simple. You press forward 3+4 with Lidia. She goes into horse starts and you press the free button. I'm going to assume that a lot of people who are here are familiar, but just in case you aren't, that's it, right? So she does this little move where she does this like spinning hook kick, I guess. I don't really know what you would call it. It's not really a roundhouse, but it's like a spinning back kick almost, right? This is a 22 frame homing mid attack, -4 on block. You see right there. That's good because obviously you have frames to move, sidestep. You have options at -4 after this move, right? And I'm gonna get into some of your options, but that's on block. On hit, this move is +14, which means that you have a few options, right? Obviously, the most obvious one is you get a political storm, guaranteed political storm, heat engager. I think it's 46 damage. I didn't get the blue spot. 48 damage, even better, right? So nice damage, heat engager. You get into heat. If you are already in heat, you get even more damage off of this, but you also have another option, right? Another option which I use a lot is you could just do forward 2-4, right? Maybe if you don't have heat, or if you want the Oki, right? Oki, forward 2-4 Oki is something I'm going to get into in the next episode of Sobieska Karate School, right? But then also, what you can get, if your execution is good, forward 2, right? Which means, if you're already in heat, and your execution is there, I don't know what I'm doing that for, sorry. It can be tight. Sorry, I'm not in heat. So there you go. You get a launcher off of this move, and then you do your combo, whatever, right? So this move itself, when you're in heat, becomes a launcher, right? For a homing mid, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys the range on this move, right? This move, the range you can hit this move at, look at that! Homing mids that can be a launcher in heat, right? So really, let's say from about here, that's a little bit far. I feel like even more than that, right? Just a little bit short. So we're looking at like over 3 for sure. Over 3 range that you can set this move up from, right? And you can get massive reward. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, right? If I'm setting this move up from here, there's not much your opponent can do to challenge you with this move, right? And this is where we get into the weaknesses of this move, right? There's really 2 main weaknesses that come with this move as far as I'm concerned. The first one, obviously, this move is locked behind starts, right? So you have to waste, I think, probably about 11 frames. I think it takes roughly around 11 frames for Lidia to go into starts and bring this move out, something like that. So total, you're looking at about 30 frame move, right? So that's the first weakness. And then the second weakness obviously being that this move is an airborne attack, right? So you can be floated for doing this move, right? If I go ahead and I set Lidia clone to jab, this move you'll be floated, right? If you're hit while you're doing this move. And that is the counterplay from forward 2 generally, right? Just a simple jab, it will shut down moves like that, right? And the only move that will beat it is horse 1+2. If you didn't know, now you know. Right? So those are the 2 main weaknesses. So like I said, if you're setting up this move, if you guys have seen me play, right? If you guys have watched me a substantial amount or any amount really, you guys will see I do this a lot sometimes. I'll just hit starts, hit horse starts, throw out a horse free. And here's the thing that I find the best. This is what I love most about horse free, right? You run that back. Look at the distance. Look at the distance you're at, right? So what I'll do, you guys will see it. I'll horse starts for free. I'll hit a simple backdash and I'll just run it back. Because there's really nothing your opponent can do about this, right? Unless they start to call you out, right? If calling you out with a jab can be difficult, especially at the range, because their jab might even whip. They have to time their jab perfectly to float you at this type of range, right? So that could be difficult. But if they call you out, they can power crush through it, right? If they see you go into horse starts and they're calling out that horse free, they can power crush through it, no problem at all, right? But other than that, there's nothing else they can do. And at that point, you can fake them out yourself, right? You go into horse, bop, bop, they power crush, you block and punish. So it's a really tough thing to deal with. And obviously I've talked to you guys about using this in neutral and kind of faking this to throw out this. I'll mix that in and I'll throw out this, boom, boom. I'll throw out a couple of these and then every now and again I'll throw that out going with forward 2, right? Very, very useful. But I spoke about that distance. That's the distance at this range. Here's where this thing gets really, really useful, right? If I use this move, when you use this move even closer, right? So off of forward 2, it's not as far away, but this distance is even better almost, because when you use this move out here, right, at like max distance, your opponent a lot of the time is not really even going to try. They're going to look at this and they're going to know I can't reach him from here, right? When you use this move from a little bit closer, naturally people will try and press buttons. And what's good about this is this move actually creates a spacing trap. If you don't know what a spacing trap is, it's essentially when you do a move on block that creates a natural whiff situation, right? And that's exactly what this move does. Because if I show you, and this works for most characters, right? I didn't want to do that, but we could do jab anyway. So if your opponent just jabs you back, right? It will just naturally whiff. And you guys have seen me do this. Again, if you've watched this channel, you've seen me play my Lidia. You will have seen so many times where I am throwing out this move. The reason I'm throwing out this move is not really to land it. If I land this move, great, bonus. The reason why I throw this out is, again, there's so little risk. -4. I can even sidestep if they do something else that's linear, right? But people will jab check me. They'll check you with a lot of stuff. And it just creates a spacing trap. They'll whiff, bang. You've seen me do that so many times. Forward 3, they whiff. Natural spacing trap. It is a beautiful move to throw out, because even if it doesn't hit, you are creating an opportunity for yourself. Even on block, this move is hell to deal with on block, right? Because then it kind of forces your opponent to do even slower moves. Even with a mid, like, again, it's not just highs, right? Certain mids, Lydia's mid. Oh, wow. Oh, Lidia has a really short range mid. I'm surprised that landed. That's got some, that's disjointed hitbox right there. But little backdash, you know what I'm saying? Little tiny backdash. Even if I probably just hold back. Yeah, if I just hold back, creates a whiff. Boom. Dead. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. And then, like I said, you might force, you can force your opponent to start to do slower moves, right? Which then, again, mind game opens up. I don't really know. That doesn't work. The 4 is too much. Oh, it does work. Okay, yeah. Wow, magic 4, interrupt. Because you know they're going to try, or maybe they're going to try and dash in and close the distance. You could do something. That's too slow. Can I do 14? That's too slow. Oh, that's 15. But you get the point, right? Even if I do this, bang, and just, you know, or again, That's the wrong way. My dumbass. You know, now you can make them whiff because you're only -4, right? Really good frames. Or, if you're at the wall, right? I can set her up to do a high and a down forward one mid, right? At the wall, if you use this at the wall, you obviously don't get the pushback, right? But, again, the frames are so nice, you can set up a parry. You can set up a Sabaki. You have options, right? Or again, you can just sidestep. You can do so many things. That's stepping in towards her. I'm not thinking, but alright. Against Lidia specifically, you have to think a little bit more. But again, it obviously depends on knowing the matchup, knowing, like, if I'm against Brian, I believe I step his down forward one left as well, right? If you're against Raven, you kind of know Raven's down forward one tracks both ways. So, you know, you're in trouble. So then you parry. But that's what makes this move absolutely beautiful, right? You are running such little risk throwing this out. The range is absurd. Another thing, the last thing I'll touch on, right, is the hurt box of this move, right? And I'm going to get into something that I'm going to talk about in the next Sobieska school. I'm going to do it very briefly, right? I'm going to get my opponent to... How do I do this? Ground technique. I don't want the side Ukemi. I want... Why am I looking? Ground tech... No. Oh, action after Ukemi. No. I feel... Oh, wake up. It's right in front of me. My bad. So let's get him to do no side roll, right? So if I knock my opponent down and they roll, look at the hurt box. The hitbox, sorry. Like, this move hits really low. So this move will hit Ling in AOP, for example, right? She can still duck it when she does the AOP duck, but naturally, Ling in AOP, this move will hit Ling. This move will hit opponents really low on the floor, right? It's just a brilliant attack. Also, it will tailspin, right? So, you know, if you catch an opponent airborne, it's going to tailspin, you get a float combo, right? This move has so much going for it and so little going against it. This is, in my opinion, Lydia's best move. And again, just to show again, right? This shit's a launcher in heat. This move is buffed to the T. Buffed to the 9s in Season 2. You used to just get one of these knockdowns. That's all it used to do. And at that point, I still thought this was her best move. When all it done was knock down like that and you would get a guaranteed 4 forward 1+2. At that point, I still thought it was Lydia's best move. And then they buffed it so that you get a guaranteed heat engager and a guaranteed launch when you're in heat. It's absurd. It's not right. It is way too good of a move. And I just implore you to just use it more. Like, again, when you're out here, instead of rushing in all the time and doing forward 2, which gets predictable, just go into horse and throw this out. Because again, if your opponent blocks it, right, just back up and then do your forward 2, right? But again, you guys will see me just looping this, right? And your opponent, you can see your opponent, right, will freeze. Your opponent starts to freeze because, again, they don't know what to do. Because they can't sidestep it. They can't really check you from here. They can't counter hit you from here. They kind of just have to try and backdash out the way. But again, the range is so deceptively good, right? That backdashing it is hard. Especially if I hit a little forward dash before I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. And then maybe I get close to their face again. Something else you guys have seen me do. When you've done it enough times, you make the read, he's going to try and interrupt me. He's going to try and jab tech me. Bang, bang. This works for me all the time, bro. Right when your opponent's going to try and check you, boom. Heat engager. So, horse free. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Brilliant move. In my opinion, Lydia's best move. At least top 3 moves. Just in a vacuum. Like, the move itself. Again, the fact that it's hidden behind stance is the only real negative to me, right? The only reason I would say, yeah, maybe this move is better, maybe that move is better, because this move is stuck behind stance. But, in my opinion, Lydia's best move. Go ahead, get in the lab, use it, try it out. Again, you really don't even have to think too much. Next time you're playing Lydia in ranked, just throw it out and see how your opponent reacts and work off of that, right? Because again, a lot of people sidestep you a lot when you're playing Lydia, right? Especially when you're getting predictable full forward 2s to enter. Just use horse 3. It really is money, bro. Like, against the wall, not against the wall, out in the open, in heat, out of heat. It's amazing. Go ahead, yeah. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.